Hey, thanks so much for tuning in today. And if you're already a subscriber, welcome back to the Rockstar Business Builders podcast. I'm Kyle Goldie, and this is episode number 7. And today I'm going to chat about what I think that you should be doing in your business as soon as you possibly can. And that one thing is outsourcing all the things that you don't need to do yourself.
You've envisioned the idea, you've identified the opportunity nobody else could see, and you've decided you're going to turn your badass idea into your badass business. Let's crank that idea up to 11. This is the Rockstar Business Building Podcast, and here you'll get hashtag all the things related to running your business and your life as a creative entrepreneur. We're creative, passionate people, and together we'll cut the fluff and get straight to the good stuff with your host, photographer, coach, and educator, Kyle Goldie.
You heard me right. I want you to outsource all the things. Now, if you're a photographer, you obviously can't be outsourcing your photography jobs to someone else unless you are the studio manager of an agency or an associates-only program that you've built out. But I'm instead talking about the other things. You know, those administrative tasks that take up what feels like hours out of your day every single week. The things that make you feel like you are getting seriously burned out. And for me as a photographer, the biggest thing was editing photographs. And that all you photographers out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Sure, we can toss on a preset and just call it good, but photographers as a whole are perfectionists when it comes to their work. I know for sure that was me because we have a pride in what we create from the moment we capture that image to how we choose to edit that photograph. But that is also where we are going absolutely wrong. We get too prideful in those edits because I know that I did. It's not a matter of making these things perfect to us. After all, who are we really making it perfect for? Are we making those things perfect for the public or just to feel good amongst other creative professionals inside of Facebook groups or on Instagram? Who are we really trying to impress by making these things quote unquote perfect? Because to be honest, what I've seen is that most creative professionals try to impress other creative professionals. They try to get their attention. They try to seek out approval from them. They try to get noticed in that group above all others. But you know what? That's all completely wrong. It's completely backwards. Instead, I want you to be focusing in on impressing your ideal clients and only them. Completely forget about the work of creative pros around you because honestly, who cares what they are doing? They don't affect your business and your profits and your bottom line. Be friends with them instead. Go out and grab a drink with them, but stop trying to impress them with your work. Impress your ideal clients with your work instead. They're the ones that are going to be hiring you and paying you and spreading the good word about you. Because when you start focusing in on your clients' expectations rather than the creative community around you, you start to realize that the general public has a totally different perception about what is quote unquote perfect. And after all, nothing is perfect and nothing ever will be. And that's 100% okay. You have to create gorgeous things as a creative entrepreneur. Yes, absolutely. But you're talented. You know what you're doing. You've seen the expressions on your clients' faces. You've heard their gratitude over and over. You don't need to be spending so much time trying to perfect every single thing that you create. Just get it done because what you're doing is gorgeous. Just believe in yourself. Believe in what you are creating. And photographers, I know that you are trying to think about how to save yourself time. I want you to start outsourcing your editing. I know that's huge. I know that's a big thing that I want you guys to do because it's a mindset thing. But outside of the mindset, it's really easy to get going with that. I know it can be difficult too to let go of the editing aspect to your business. I really do know that it can be difficult because personally, it was the last thing that I wanted to let go. Editing was mine, and I wanted it to be perfect, or at least perfect in my own eyes. But the more and more I thought about it, the more that I realized that I wasn't making it perfect for the client. I was trying to make it perfect for me. And guys, that's a huge ego thing. It's an egotistical thing to want to make your images perfect for you. Because to the general public and who you're trying to sell to, they're okay with it being very good because in their mind, it is already perfect. It's already amazing. You don't need to be spending that extra few minutes for every single photo for the hundreds of photos that you might be delivering. The very difference of something seemingly becoming perfect compared to it being very good is an extra few minutes per photo. If you multiply that by dozens, if not hundreds of photos, we are talking about multiple hours per project on additional work that results in zero extra benefit by anyone, both you and your business. Your clients don't benefit from that extra few minutes of work. They're not even going to notice it. The only person in the entire world that's going to notice that additional few minutes is you. And why does that matter? It does not. Nobody benefits with that extra few minutes per photo. Just get it done. Create content around it, blog about it, deliver it, finish that project, and use that project as leverage to get your next client, and then your next, and the next after that. If you are editing your own photographs, it really is an ego-based thing. And I'm not just saying that you are the only person that's egotistical by editing your own photos. I'm saying that to myself as well, because I edited my own photographs for the first 8 years of my career. Yes, if you're a fashion photographer, you might want to be editing your own photographs if you don't have a super highly professional team that's better at that than you. But when you hit those bigger stages, it's awesome to have those professional retouchers retouching your work because they are the master at retouching. If you're a photographer listening to this, you're a photographer. You are not a retoucher. You are a photographer, and it's really important to keep drilling that in because it's a mindset thing of letting this go. And when you do let it go, you're able to spend a lot more time doing the things that you love. And when you love things like photography, you can do more of it if you're not always spending time in front of the computer. Personally, over the last 2 years or so, because I've been editing my own photos for 8 and I have a 10-year full-time career now as a photographer, over the last roughly 2 years, I've done more traveling, taking more time off to spend with friends and family. I've made more money and been happier, all because I've been outsourcing. It's all because I learned how to outsource the things that I didn't need to do inside of my business. Now, what do I mean by the word need? I think it's important to define that because most things need to get done in our business, but there are a lot of things within business that don't need to get done by you specifically. Someone else can go do those things. As solopreneurs, as most of us are, most of us don't have an unlimited budget, but outsourcing the things that are basic, it does not have to be expensive either. For you photographers, it doesn't just stop with outsourcing editing either. You can outsource your bookkeeping, your year-end taxes, your social media, your blog copywriting, your website design, your anything that you don't physically have to be there for. I want you to take this podcast episode really seriously. If there's one podcast episode that I want you to really take notes on, it's this one. Because as I mentioned earlier, it's the one thing that I've done to really give me that sense of freedom and flexibility in my life. So if you want to travel more, if you want to spend more time with your kids, your significant other, and you just want to have more downtime away from the computer, outsource the things that you don't need to personally get done inside of your business. I went from working 60 hours a week or more to under 20. And depending on the season, sometimes, honestly, even less than 5 hours a week to sustain my 6-figure business. That's outside of the photography time. Obviously, me as a photographer, I need to show up, and yes, I'm spending some hours there photographing a wedding, but depending on the season, I'm having to work less than 5 hours a week outside of photography to sustain my 6-figure business. You heard me right, because depending on the season, I can now sustain that. It did not happen overnight, though, and I really want to try to make that clear, because I've spent hundreds of hours pushing out content into the world that feeds into my client funnel through organic marketing, but it's been a key to my success simply by outsourcing. And now that you've been here listening to me for only a few minutes on the Rockstar Business Builders podcast, you now hold one of my keys. So go out there and use it. Because when you do use that key, it opens up your time to also get back to spending time inside of your business on the things that matter most: lead generation and sales. And when you spend your time in those areas, your number of leads will increase and your profits will increase as well. You've got the key to working less and making more money. Stop trading time for dollars. Instead, start trading dollars for time so that you can multiply that time into even bigger return on investment. Time is the most valuable resource that we have. I've gone into this in depth in a former podcast episode, so I want you to use it wisely. Not only for your business, but your personal life as well. Because after all, it's not all about working just to make an extra buck. It's about having an amazing life that you want to truly love living and sharing that life with others. If you're doing what's working, you're missing out on the whole point of why we're here. I want you to be having a really amazing lifestyle. I want you to be going out there and enjoying what you're doing outside of what you do to make a dollar. Forget having a work-life balance and instead focus on a life-work balance. I want you to flip that script. Photographers, the step-by-step plan on how I do all of this is inside of my online program, Book More Weddings. And if you're there already, I love you. And if you're here listening to this podcast and you're not in there yet, get in there, take action, crush your goals, and live that lifestyle that you've always wanted to. Because guys, today, I want you to be having that huge mindset shift. I want you to be focusing in on the things that you're doing inside of your business that are not making you a dollar. Because photographers, you editing your own photographs, you're not making money doing that. So why are you doing it? So that's it for today, guys. It's been short, sweet, and to the point. I promised to shoot straight and cut out all that fluff. And that's exactly what I delivered on today for you. My name is Kyle Goldie. You've been listening to the Rockstar Business Builders podcast, episode number 7, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Remember to subscribe, rate, and review because I need your help in spreading the good word about my podcast. It's 100% free, and if you love it, please share it out to the world. Thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next one.
This has been the Rockstar Business Building Podcast, our weekly get-together of creative, passionate entrepreneurs. For more guidance on how to build the ultimate rockstar business, visit kylegoldie.com. Sign up for his free newsletter and learn about his online coaching programs designed to crank your business up to 11.